Welcome back to another exciting video where we uncover the hidden secrets of rare and valuable coins. Today we are going deep into the story of a coin that looks so ordinary, yet has captured the attention of collectors all around the world. The United States 1-cent penny from the year 1975 without a mint mark. At first, this coin may look like just another penny that has been tossed into a jar, left in drawers, or passed around in everyday transactions for decades. But when we start looking closer, we realize that this little piece of copper carries a mystery, a story, and a value that goes far beyond its face value of 1 cent. Let's take a step back in time. The year is 1975. The United States is celebrating the 200th year of its independence the following year. The economy is changing, the Vietnam War has ended, and people are moving into a new era. Every single day, millions of pennies are being struck and used by Americans everywhere. People do not think twice about them, because a penny is simply the smallest unit of money. Yet within this enormous sea of coins, a very tiny number were different. Those are the coins without a mint mark. Now, before we understand why this matters, we need to know what a mint mark is. A mint mark is a small letter placed on a coin to show where it was made. During the 1970s, the United States had several mints producing coins. The Denver Mint placed a D on its coins. The San Francisco Mint placed an S. The Philadelphia Mint, at that time, generally produced coins without a mint mark. That is why coins without a mint mark often came from Philadelphia. But what makes the 1975 penny special is that collectors found certain examples struck in a way that made them stand out far more than the rest. For collectors, details are everything. The sharpness of the strike, the luster of the metal, the absence of marks, and most importantly, the mint mark itself. In this case, the lack of a mint mark is not just ordinary, it is significant. It tells us about the minting process, the variations in production, and it creates a sense of rarity. Think about this: most people spend their entire lives handling pennies without ever noticing the date or the small letters below it. But for collectors, every single coin tells a story. The 1975 penny without a mint mark tells a story of scarcity and demand. It shows how something so small can slip through unnoticed by millions, only to be discovered years later as a hidden treasure. Now let's talk about the metal itself. The penny in 1975 was still made of 95% copper, unlike today's pennies that are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. This older composition gives the coin a heavier weight and a richer color. Over time, copper coins develop a natural patina, sometimes darkening or turning reddish-brown. Collectors love finding examples that have retained their original shine, what is called mint luster. When a coin like this survives in near-perfect condition, it becomes something extraordinary. Imagine holding one in your hand. On the front, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, stares proudly to the right. The words "In God We Trust" curve above his head. To the left of his profile, the simple word "Liberty" reminds us of the nation's foundation. And just below his shoulder, the year 1975 marks the coin's birth. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial stands tall, a reminder of national pride and history. But for collectors, the most important detail is not what is there, it is what is missing. The mint mark. Now, why does this missing mark make the coin so valuable? Because collectors crave rarity. It is the law of supply and demand. Millions of ordinary pennies exist, but only a very small number without the mint mark in high-grade condition are known. When you combine rarity with demand, the value skyrockets, but the story does not end there. To truly understand the value, we must talk about coin grading. Grading is the process of examining a coin carefully and giving it a score from poor condition to perfect mint state. A coin that is scratched, worn down, or circulated heavily may still be rare, but it will not bring much money. On the other hand, a coin that has survived untouched for decades, still shining as if it just left the mint, can bring in staggering amounts at auction. This is why collectors hunt tirelessly for uncirculated examples of the 1975 penny without a mint mark. These coins, when graded at the highest levels, are worth more than many people can imagine. They are not just coins anymore, they are treasures, investments, and pieces of history. Think about the excitement of discovery. You are sorting through an old collection left by your grandparents, or maybe even searching through a box of coins you picked up at a garage sale. Suddenly, you see a penny dated 1975. At first, you think nothing of it. But then you look closer and realize there is no mint mark. Could it be? Your heart starts racing. You take it for professional grading. Weeks later, the results come back. Your coin is genuine, uncirculated, and extremely rare. In that moment, a single penny could change your life. Stories like this are what make coin collecting so exciting. It is not just about money, it is about history, mystery, and the thrill of finding something extraordinary where nobody else was looking. Every coin has passed through countless hands, every coin has a journey, but only a few become legends. The 1975 no mint mark penny is one of them, and now, after all this build-up, let's reveal the value. Just how much can this little 1-cent coin be worth in the right condition? Collectors have reported values so high that it surprises even experts. The 1975 penny without a mint mark has reached an incredible value of $50,000. Today we are going to dive deep into one of the most overlooked but surprisingly valuable coins in United States history, the 1976 1-cent penny with no mint mark. At first glance, this little coin looks just like every other penny you might have in your pocket, your wallet, or maybe even in an old jar sitting somewhere in your house. Most people see it as nothing more than a single cent, the lowest denomination of U.S. currency, a coin that people often drop on the ground and never bother to pick up again. But as you're about to find out, some of these coins are far from worthless. In fact, one of them has shocked collectors and investors by selling for an unbelievable amount of money. Let's go back to the year 1976. It was not just any year for the United States of America. It was the year of the bicentennial celebration, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. The whole nation was celebrating history, freedom, and heritage. Special coins were struck to honor this occasion. Quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins were all redesigned with patriotic images that symbolized America's journey, but here's where it gets interesting. The penny was left untouched. No special design, no flashy bicentennial artwork, just the same trusted design with President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Because of that, millions of people never gave it any attention. They were busy looking at the shiny bicentennial quarters with their drummer boy design, or the special half dollars with Independence Hall. The penny quietly circulated through the economy, unnoticed, yet within this ordinary coin lies the extraordinary. In 1976, pennies were struck at different mints across the country. The Denver Mint produced coins with a tiny D mint mark just below the date. But the Philadelphia Mint, which was also striking pennies, did not place a mint mark at all. That means that every penny from Philadelphia came out with no mint mark beneath the year 1976. On the surface, that might sound common. After all, millions were minted. But as every true coin collector knows, rarity is not always about how many were produced. It is often about how many survived in perfect condition, untouched by circulation. Think about how pennies are usually treated. They get thrown into change jars, dropped into vending machines, passed from hand to hand, scraped, scratched, and dented over years of use. A coin like that will never be worth more than 1 cent. But if, by some stroke of luck, a penny avoided all of that and managed to stay in pristine condition for decades, it could become a hidden treasure. Collectors call this mint state. The higher the grade, the sharper the details, the stronger the luster, and the fewer the marks on the surface, the more desirable the coin becomes. For a coin that is almost 50 years old, finding such a flawless example is like striking gold. Now picture this. Somewhere, a collector finds a 1976 penny with no mint mark, stored away in such incredible condition that it looks like it was struck yesterday. No scratches, no dents, no dullness. Just a perfect little time capsule from the bicentennial year. That is the kind of coin that gets collectors excited. That is the kind of coin that sparks bidding wars at auctions. the value of coins like this depends on both rarity and condition. While most 1976 pennies are worth only their face value, some have sold for a few dollars, others for a few hundred. But the story does not end there. Because one very special example of this coin has gone on to shock the entire coin collecting community. Imagine walking into an auction, surrounded by serious collectors and investors. The room is silent, except for the auctioneer's voice. A single coin is placed on display. It is nothing more than a penny, the smallest coin in U.S. currency. Yet this particular penny is flawless, a perfect gem with stunning eye appeal. The bidding begins. Hands go up, numbers climb, and the tension rises. What started as a simple penny has now turned into a battle of prestige and desire, and finally, when the dust settled, that 1-cent coin from 1976 with no mint mark reached an astonishing price. Collectors could hardly believe it. That little copper coin, the same type most people toss aside without a thought, was valued at $48,000. Today we're going to explore one of the fascinating coins of modern American history, the 1980 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint, commonly known as the 1980p quarter. Now, most people see a quarter as nothing more than 25 cents. But as coin collectors know, some of these coins can surprise you with values that go far beyond their face value. Let's rewind to the year 1980. America was in a time of transition. Technology was advancing, the music scene was changing, and the nation was heading into a new decade filled with excitement and challenges. In this environment, the Philadelphia Mint struck millions upon millions of Washington quarters. At first glance, they all looked the same, but as always, some stood out in ways nobody expected. The Washington quarter design is one that every collector knows well. The obverse, or front, carries the portrait of George Washington, designed back in 1932 by John Flanagan to celebrate Washington's 200th birthday. His face had become a timeless part of American coinage. Flip the coin over, and the reverse displays a majestic eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing both strength and peace. Now here's something interesting. In 1980, Philadelphia coins were actually struck without a mint mark. Unlike dimes, which began showing the P mint mark that year, the Washington quarter remained blank when it came to mint identification. So when we talk about the 1980 P quarter, we're really talking about a coin from Philadelphia that doesn't display the P, yet collectors still use the term for clarity. This small piece of history makes the 1980 quarter special in its own way, but what truly grabs the attention of collectors are the errors, the varieties, and above all, the condition. If you're holding a 1980 quarter that has been passed around for decades, it's probably only worth face value. But if you manage to find one that escaped heavy circulation, one that shines with original mint luster, sharp details, and nearly flawless surfaces, then you've found something rare. Errors can make the coin even more exciting. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, double die errors that show doubled images or lettering, and unusual planchet mistakes where the coin metal wasn't prepared properly, all of these can push the value into impressive territory. Collectors love these one-of-a-kind pieces because no two are exactly alike. Now, let's talk about grading. Coin grading is a system used to measure condition. From worn and circulated coins graded good, all the way up to mint state grades that reach MS67 and higher, condition is everything. The higher the grade, the more rare the coin becomes. Out of the millions of 1980 quarters produced, only a very small number have survived in such pristine, untouched quality that they can command top dollar at auctions. This is where history meets opportunity. Imagine a coin struck over 40 years ago, passed from hand to hand, yet somehow surviving in flawless condition. Collectors will pay staggering amounts for these rare survivors. Auction houses have seen bidding wars break out as enthusiasts fight to add the best possible example to their collections, and now we come to the moment you've been waiting for, the reason you should check every coin that lands in your pocket or change jar. While most 1980 quarters may only buy you a piece of candy or a soda, the rarest, most perfect example of the 1980p Washington quarter has reached an auction record of $50,000. Yes, a single quarter worth $50,000. So, the next time you're handed a quarter in change, don't overlook it. That small coin might just be a hidden treasure, carrying a story from America's past and a value that could change your future. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the history and hidden value of the 1980 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other coin collectors. And remember, the world of coins is full of surprises. You never know what treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. Today we are going to talk about one of the most surprising treasures hiding in everyday pocket change. It is none other than the United States of America 1-cent penny from the year 1996 with no mint mark. Now when people hear the word penny, they immediately think of something small and common. After all, it is just 1 cent and most of us barely pay attention to it, but in the world of coin collecting, every little detail can completely change the story. Sometimes a penny can be worth more than $1 bill, $100 bill, or even a single copper-colored coin can carry a secret value that shocks people all around the world. So what is the secret behind the 1996 penny with no mint mark? Let's start from the basics. A mint mark is a small letter stamped on coins to tell us where they were produced. For example, the letter D stands for Denver and the letter S stands for San Francisco. If there is no mint mark at all, it usually means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Most of the time coins without a mint mark are normal and very common, but sometimes mistakes in the minting process or special variations make them extremely rare. The 1996 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which started in 1959 and ran until 2008. These pennies show the profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Millions of them were struck every year, which makes it sound like they should all be ordinary, but among those millions a tiny fraction were different, and those tiny differences are what collectors chase after. Now here is where things get exciting. The no mint mark penny of 1996 is one of those coins that can surprise you. Most people would toss it into a piggy bank without a second thought, but sharp-eyed collectors and coin dealers know that certain examples of this coin in the right condition are treasures. The key factors are condition, rarity, and demand. If a penny is perfectly preserved, shiny, without scratches, and shows crisp details, it can command serious money at auction. If that penny also happens to be missing a mint mark in a way that makes it rare, then collectors will bid fiercely to own it. Imagine holding a handful of pocket change. Most coins might only buy you a candy bar, but hidden in that pile could be a coin so rare that it could change your week, your month, or even your year. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary looking coins can turn out to be extraordinary once you know their history and secrets. The story of the 1996 no mint mark penny teaches us something important. Never ignore small details, because sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest surprises. Collectors across the country and even around the world continue to search through rolls of pennies every day, hoping to find one. Some people spend hours checking jars of old coins just to get a chance to uncover a hidden gem, and yes, the lucky ones who do find them often walk away with a reward they never imagined possible. Think about it this way: you are holding a coin that weighs only a couple of grams. It has been passed from hand to hand through shops, schools, and stores. It might have even been sitting in your drawer for years, yet under the right circumstances it has the power to shock everyone with its price tag. And now let us come to the part you have been waiting for: the real market value among all the 1996 no mint mark pennies that have been discovered. One example in spectacular condition was sold in a major coin auction. The bidding was intense, collectors fought to own it, and in the end the final hammer price stunned the audience. That little penny reached a value of $30,000. Today we are diving deep into the world of coins and hidden treasures that might be sitting right inside your pocket change. Yes, you heard me right. Sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise, and in today's video we will talk about one of those coins that has become a true collector's gem, the United States 1-cent penny from the year 2004 with the D mint mark. Now let's start from the very beginning. The penny is the most common and the most familiar coin in America. It carries the face of Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. Lincoln pennies have been around since 1909, and every single generation of Americans has seen them, touched them, and spent them. But here's the magic in coin collecting: out of billions of coins struck in different years and at different mints, only a few become extremely valuable. Sometimes the reason is an error during minting, sometimes it is the condition of the coin known as its grade, and sometimes it is the simple fact that collectors All over the world are hunting for that exact coin to complete their set. So why is the 2004 penny with the D Mint mark so special? First of all, the D stands for Denver Mint, one of the main facilities where US coins are made. The Denver Mint has struck countless pennies in 2004, but only a small fraction stand out in such a way that collectors are ready to pay high amounts for them. You might be asking, what makes one of these pennies more valuable than the rest? The answer lies in the tiny details. Collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of the strike, the shine and luster of the coin, the absence of scratches or marks, and sometimes small variations in design that happen during minting. All these factors combined can turn a common coin into a hidden treasure. Now let's talk about the design itself. On the front side, or the obverse, we see the bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. It is a classic image that has appeared on the penny for over 100 years. On the back side, or the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial. This design was used from 1959 until 2008, and millions of people recognize it instantly. But what they don't realize is that among these familiar designs there are rare pieces that are worth serious money. Many people think that only old coins can be valuable, but that is not true at all. Even a modern coin from the year 2004 can bring an incredible price if it meets the right conditions. That is why collectors always say, check your change, check your jars, check your piggy banks, because you never know what you might find. Imagine this: you go through your change and suddenly you notice a bright shiny 2004 penny with a small D mark under the date. You hold it closer and realize it looks almost perfect with no scratches and full details. In that very moment you might be holding a coin that is not worth just 1 cent, it could be worth thousands. The story of coin collecting is full of such surprises. People have found valuable pennies in circulation. Some have discovered rare coins in old jars or boxes kept by their grandparents, and many have even pulled treasures straight from pocket change without realizing how special they were until later. Now friends, let's get to the most exciting part of the video. What is the value of the 2004 D penny? Well, for the right collector and in the right condition, this coin can be worth as much as $3,000. So the next time you see a penny lying around, do not ignore it. Take a moment to look closely, because you never know, that little coin might just be your ticket to an incredible discovery. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends so they can also discover how pocket change can sometimes turn into a treasure.